What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy 2 and the potential of multiplayer. So a few things have actually kind of evolved since we looked at that job posting that had MMO kind of built into it, right? And we asked ourselves the question of what in God's name do they mean? And like, could it be a full-on MMO, or is it going to be something where it's just multiplayer kind of components in Hogwarts? Well, there's actually two things to kind of look at ever since then. A lot has happened in the last little while, one of which is Warner Bros. Statements about turning their biggest franchises into live service stuff. And, I made a video kind of being a little upset about it. In terms of more, I guess I focused really on the DC side of things in that video. We even talked about Wonder Woman, that there were some signs there that game could maybe have, maybe not multiplayer, but some sort of live service, keeping the game out longer than just when it first releases, right? So going back to Hogwarts, I actually feel this Warner Bros. Statement is extremely important. I think Hogwarts Legacy 2 is going to have multiplayer in some capacity. I don't think they're getting out of that, even if they don't want to do it, right? I think it's going to have it. And then you had, and I think this is built off of the job posting, but you had Joe Mack, who's the same one who found the job posting. He had tagged me on Twitter, and this is a really weird thing. So this comes from Film Junkie, and I think this is on Facebook. Hogwarts Legacy 2 is now in the works and is rumored to feature a full multiplayer system where every student you see will be a real player with the option to play the game in single player. And when he even tagged me, he said no source indicated, but I thought it would be interesting, more like Fallout 76. That is very much Fallout 76, right? You're going around the world and there are no NPC. I mean, where have we heard this before, right? And how did that work, by the way, for Fallout 76? But couple things. Number one, I do not want that in the slightest. I guess, and let me clarify, if you're going to do like a Wizarding World MMO game, I think that would work. I think that's a real possibility. And actually, we've talked about this like years ago. Remember, there was one in I believe, EA, right? In the early 2000s, they were actually going to make a Wizarding World MMO game, and it kind of just all fell apart. They didn't do it, but they were going for it, and that was very early on. I honestly, like the product we would have gotten then, I don't even know if I would have played it at the time, but it would have been, I think, not really what our dreams could conjure up. Right? So I do want that. Like, I think that'd be interesting. And, again, like we just talked about with the Warner Bros. Statement of turning it into live service, could an MMO Hogwarts Legacy thing or Wizarding World thing, I think it's actually important to separate them. Could that happen? Could that work? Yes, I actually really believe that. But should that be what Hogwarts Legacy 2 is? Absolutely not. And what it really stems to is, and we've talked about this a lot, do not make teams do something that they're not really competent in, okay? We had all those people talking about the team at Avalanche going into Hogwarts Legacy and saying, oh, this is the team that made Cars, and, things like that. And, I fired back at that saying, a lot of these people came in for Hogwarts Legacy, okay? This is not the exact same studio that made Cars. But keeping with the theme there, they built this team with an open world Wizarding World game in mind. And I would argue they're continuing to hire and build to continue to make a open world single player experience. The people there are good at that specific thing. And we know, again, we've talked about it for other examples. Don't you dare go into there, because normally it doesn't work. Normally it backfires big time. Do not go into there and say, hey, that works so well, but here's the thing. You made like $1 billion plus, which, by the way, this again is another opposite, like the lessons learned. You should learn a specific lesson from Hogwarts Legacy sales, not, oh, well, it did really well, but here's an idea. How about we do really well at launch, but then, we kind of want that amount of money like every month. So can you make like a live service? Can you make like an MMO game? That's not the lesson that you learn from it. Now, I kind of skipped over it. The rumor, I mean, Joe says it as well, like there's no source, there's no literally, I hate, whenever there's posts like this, and there's a lot of this garbage on the internet. What I honestly believe this is this Film Junkie, this site, or this, this account saw the videos, the articles, whatever, on the job posting that had MMO, and they just made up this theory, and they just formed it or said it as a rumor. So I think this is honestly BS. I think it's just a lie for clicks, which it's working. You can see it actually in the engagement on the post, but that's what I think it is. But it does, I guess people can think that, right? So although it's clickbait, you wonder, well, is there actually something happening? Like, would that be a thing? Again, I really don't think so. I think the idea, at least in the short term, at least for Hogwarts Legacy 2, is they're going to still do the single-player focus, which, again, that's the right move. Not saying you can't have online, not saying you can't have a multiplayer-only game, but not this one. Make a separate one. Like, it's the same thing with so many different, examples in Hollywood and in gaming. It's like, just continue doing what you're doing, and if you want to like change it, just make something else. Just like have a team make a Wizarding World MMO game. You don't need to make Hogwarts Legacy into it. And again, the only reason I believe we're really even having this talk is because of that job posting. They are hiring people that have kind of a multiplayer background, and not even just multiplayer, but more like MMO. So that really like throws it through a loop big time. But I would be shocked. My jaw would hit the floor if they pulled, which, I mean, it could happen, but I really think you got to like take a look at the industry and just say that would be so idiotic to do. If you say, well, they're going to pull a 76. They're going to make a Hogwarts Legacy 2, and they got this bright idea that let's populate the castle with all these, and let's just make it some weird hybrid. We want to make it kind of single player, but we also want to make it an MMO, and let's kind of combine it. It's not going to, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to work out the way you think it is, okay? Just do a base Hogwarts Legacy, and then do multiplayer with all the ideas that we've already come up with. Do dueling as a multiplayer thing, like a Ghost of Tsushima Legends, like just do that. Do something with Quidditch. I know there's, obviously like the full-on Quidditch game, but do your own thing if you want. Do Wizard's Chess. Like we've talked about these different examples. That's what you should be. And if that's the live service elements they're talking about that they want to inject into the game, that's fine. And I think that makes sense. And they maybe even should have done it in Hogwarts Legacy. But I think it's almost a guarantee for Hogwarts Legacy 2. But just please, for the love of God, no MMO stuff. If you're going to do that, make it its own separate game. That would be, I just don't think the team could do it. And I don't think that's a negative to them. I think that's a lesson the gaming industry needs to get through their skulls is, they got a good thing going here. They have expertise. Don't come in and tell them to do something completely against what they've always done. You're going to get a failed, it's not going to work. It's going to fail. It's going to be a failed product, and you should just separate it. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.